magic from him, perhaps. It's a good ball. Grayson. It goes towards Owen Roy. Brilliant save, it's in! Walsh has scored! Leicester City are in dreamland now! Vardy in the middle. This could be a huge moment. Vardy scored! And it's pandemonium in Leicester.
Mahrez with his left, Albrighton with his right. It is Mahrez. It's a good ball in. Morgan's there. It's in. Leicester City score. It is a captain's goal from Wes Morgan, who lifted the Premier League trophy in May. He might have played a big part now in taking Leicester City through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League.
Lift the trophy to the skies. Leicester City are the champions of the Premier League. 5,000 to 1.
We're back. Blue tinted glasses, baby. What's good? Hi, everyone. Good to see everyone here. Clibbo, good to see you here to join me. Chris, LCID TV. How are you, brother?
I am wetter than a nun's knickers on a bike going down a cobbled street. I mean, it's absolutely baking here. I'm going to shut the window, otherwise I get all the bloody flies coming in. I've got 2 fans on me. Only I could have a neck fan.
Right. I am sick of you guys. I'm going to be a bit of a bitch and complain here as well. You guys are all saying, oh, it's so fucking hot and it's like 28 and that's like a nice day in Australia. But I will say this. It is 3 degrees right now. I'm freezing. I ain't cut out for this climate. My dick right now looks like a baked bean on top of a bird's nest. It's fucking freezing right now.
Oh, we set the standard here, haven't we?
He's straight into it tonight, isn't he?
Manny, Locks. I'll start with you, Locks. How are you, brother?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good. It started as I expected it to be fair, which is great stuff. Yeah, Luke being a Luke,
that's right.
Love it, mate.
I just thought I'd stress you out nice and early. He's worried about leaving me at their home, guys. Let us know in the
I'm
comments
not
if it was a
stressed.
bad
I'm
idea.
all good.
Manny, how are you, brother? You feeling a bit more positive with this news coming out?
Yeah, but feeling better every day is good. But you know, I'm looking forward to tonight's show. To be honest, like I don't know where we're going to go with this, but this is going to be a little bit different. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. I was trying to get Luke to have one rule about this show, which he didn't say yes to, which was we don't talk about Leicester City, which is a bit weird. We could talk about football, we could talk about rugby, you could talk about, you know, your first fumble beyond the bike sheds, you could talk about whatever you like.
Look at he's not dude. Locks is not keen.
But Locks doesn't want that. Because
he didn't. He decided to bring this up now after I put Marti Cifuentes on the thumbnail, the bozo. Hold on, Luke.
Okay.
By the way, Luke, there is a bozo button in the. Here we go, mate. Here you go. Bozo alert. Bozo alert. Just so you know, that's there. Just so you know.
For experimentation purposes, I just want to try something because we're going to try and do something different with this night show, and Luke's going to drive this one forward. Feel free to throw out random questions to ND members of the panel in the chat, and we'll try and get them up, and we'll try and get them to answer it. Anything you like, no holds barred.
Oh, it's bad. Look, let's quickly say hello to some people in the chat. Salt, how are you, mate? Good to see you. He's trying to get me to crack a beverage at 4:30 in the morning. I've got work today, and it's a Friday, brother, but maybe some other time. If you want to see me drink, you're going to have to watch the awards show. Dave Cross, some kind of Aussie says no to a beer just because it's 4:20. Come on, brother. You can't do me dirty like that. Ray is in. Morning, Ray. Brigham, big up to you, New Zealand, brother. And Frankie, come on, brother. I got to kill my vibe. Diego is in. What's good, Diego? Right, let's get into it, guys. We've got some good news. Hopefully it's appointed soon. Cifuentes, I don't think that's how you pronounce it. Finally, looks like it's going to be a done deal. Manny, I'll start with you first. How are you feeling about this appointment?
I just said I wanted to not talk about Leicester City, and I've talked a lot about Cifuentes, so let the other boys talk about Cifuentes, and for once, I'll shut that up.
Woo!
Wow. For
Lots,
once.
I know you got to shoot soon, brother. I'll come with you, and then we'll go to Clipbo.
Yeah, mate, it's great news. Yeah, thankfully we can finally put the manager stuff to bed. It's been going on way too long. We had to wait 5 weeks for them to sack Rude, and then we had to wait another 2 weeks nearly for them to pick the new man. It looked like we were going to get O'Neill, looked like we were going to get Wilder. However, we've got Cifuentes, which I think most of us are happy about to a certain degree. I think some people still had different number ones, like Danny Roll or someone like that. But Cifuentes is a good option, and I'm happy with it, man. I think a lot of people are happy with it.
I'm sorry that Iggy Pop shout had me cracking. Sorry, Clivo, but you are a ringer for Iggy Pop. You are. You younger guys won't know. Music artist, Iggy Pop. Google it. You'll see a photo and then check out. Have a look at Clivo.
I've been sitting here panicking, thinking it's something to do with the purple in my head. I'm like, what does that mean? Has someone called me out for some disco shit? Fucking Clipper got me all worried before the stream. Clipper, how are you feeling about the point, mate? And you've got a beautiful set of hair. Don't listen to this guy.
It's not bad for my age, is it? It's not falling out yet. I'm really quite excited about it. I think to give the club credit, which we've not really done for quite some time, I think they've pulled out a bit of a masterstroke here. And typical Leicester fashion, left of field, not a sniff. None of us really had a sniff of this appointment coming in. And I don't think really many of us knew a great deal about him until recently. And I think now we're all bloody experts on him, aren't we?
That's always the case. I agree, mate. Like I wouldn't call it a masterstroke. I think Locke kind of hit the nail on the head. I think they buttered us up with all these other horrible, horrific choices that they said they were interviewing. And like you said the other day, Locks, if we had to come with him first, we would have been like, oh, I don't know about that, but I'm proper warming up to it. And are we 100% sure of the appointment? No, don't stress me out. Okay, I'm just assuming it's basically a done deal. Chris, you and I were talking the other day, mate. Were you basically sold on having Andy King just take over after the Peterborough game?
No, I think it was a stupid idea to give somebody who hasn't got his pro licence the manager's job after one pre-season game where he played two different teams in two halves. I mean, shit, where the hell did that come from? Also, as regards to Cifuentes, I'm actually not as excited as I was. I had a Sheffield, no, I didn't. I had a QPR fan on a show earlier. I was asking him a lot of questions, and lots popped on. And I have to say, having listened to him for an hour, I'm really disappointed. Because from what he was saying, we are getting a rude Mark II here.
What do you mean?
Well, everything I asked him, I said, well, this is what Rude did. How would he react? What would Marti do? And most of the time, and Tibbo was watching as well, most of the time it was pretty much the same. For those of you that are old enough to remember Scooby-Doo, at the end when they rip the mask off the villain and you see who it really is underneath, I'm just a little bit worried that we're going to do that with Cifuentes. We rip his mask off and it's Ruud van Nistelrooy going, ha-ha, thought you got rid of me. So I'm still excited because of who it could have been, as in Wilder, O'Neill, and Sean Dyche, but I'm not as excited as I actually was.
Ooh, we got a party pooper possibly with him. It's all a realist. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see if he is appointed and what happens. Salt says here, I would say I've had a similar experience of a couple of QPR fans saying he started amazingly but fell off last season despite the troubles that they had. I mean, Manny, I don't know about similar to Ruud van Nistelrooy. If you watch their masterclasses, they're different. Ruud van Nistelrooy allegedly claims he plays a mid-block and different formation. I think that from what I've seen, I haven't seen too much just yet, but I would say that they're different managers. What would you say to that, Manny? Do you think that that's a bit of an unnecessary or irrelevant comparison? What do you think? Do you reckon that QPR fan talks
I don't think it's a terrible comparison. I don't think they're dissimilar. I think there's a lot of similarities in what they're trying to achieve. But, you could have two different people delivering the same message, but with one person it penetrates and the other person, it just goes over your head. And I think with Ruud, like we saw Ruud's interviews, he was saying the right thing, speaking like he was right. But the problem was the team selections. His team selections was terrible. If he picked the right team, he would have given himself a better chance. He would have had us on board saying, look, he's trying to do everything he can do. But constantly seeing, all the old guard in all the time, Vestergaard's in for 10, he's out. Winks is in, he's out. Skip was in briefly, then he's out. Or I use in, then he's out. Reed's in, and he's out. It's wasting time. So, but Rude said, talk the talk, but when it came to walking the walk, it was something different. Now, this guy could say, I could look at the videos, I could watch his coach's voice, I could gauge opinion, I could ask my mate today, who's an Aalborg fan, about what he remembers of Cifuentes, and I could do all that stuff, and it could all sound perfect. But until I see his first team sheet on the first day of the actual season, as long as I want to see that team that we've been talking about, the younger, faster team. If I see that, hey ho, I'm all on board. If I see something different, then I'm going to go, hold on, this is similar to Rude. You're saying one thing, but you're delivering something else. But when it was Enzo's turn, Enzo's the one who got those two wingers up and running and into the club, played them all the time, and then, a little wait for Fatawi, and then just let them go. So I want to see something quite similar. We've got wingers who can absolutely destroy this league to bits. I want to see them on the ball as much as I can, let them go and attack. So I'm not too fussed about the specific details of how he's going to do that, as long as he understands where our strengths are and utilises them properly.
100%. I spot on agree. Like what the work rate of the players, like for Enzo, like what they did under Enzo off the ball is not talked about enough, and I really want to see that. Frankie, again, trying to stress me out, brother. I up front and Bobby DeCover-Reid on the left wing. If that happens, I'll have a fucking meltdown. And Chris, what was that sign you're holding up? Pull that back up. What are you doing? You going on WWF on me? Well, phase love heart. Yeah, send that Locks' way. He called him the Virgil van Dijk of the championship.
No, I had actually, in all fairness, I can't stand the guy. He's taking up somebody else's oxygen. Can I just say, I wouldn't have Bobby DeCover-Reid anywhere near the team, but I would have AU.
Over who?
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, it's over Daka.
Right, so you'd have him up front over Daka.
Yeah, I'd have Clibo over Daka. No disrespect, Clibo, but all I can see is, unless we buy somebody, obviously, then we've got other options. But getting the ball up to AU, we can hold it up. You can get, you've got Mavadidi, you've got El Canous, hopefully. You've got Fatawu running up after him, and he's holding the ball up. They're, a bit like Heskey used to do, and then they're running onto it. Like I say, it might be that we've got another striker coming into the mix. Who knows? But at the moment, Daka or AU every time. In that central role, not on the bloody wing, though.
Locks, the Virgil van Dijk quote. Locks, going on what Manny was just saying about using the youth, like we were all hoodwinked and sold a dream. Like Ruud van Nistelrooy, proper honey dictus, saying, he was brought in for the youth for PSV. He was going to play youth. He barely did. He kept playing Dinosaur, Turtle, IU, and Bobby Donkey over Reed. It wound me up week in, week out. Do you think Cifuentes is going to play youth a lot more? Like, it'd be very interesting to see if he is appointed properly. He comes in for the next, OH and Leuven game. Do you think he's going to be able to utilize the youth? Because everyone keeps talking about a new striker. I'm not convinced that we're going to be signing anyone. If we are, there are going to be, loan appointments and stuff like that because of sanctions coming our way.
I think he's going to play the youth because he'll have no option, to be honest. I think, the choice of players there will be, on the left-hand side, for example, on the right-hand side, let's say, the options will be Bobby Reed or Monga. And I think he will choose Monga because I just think Monga will be better. I think he'll be better than Bobby Reed. So I think he'll go with that. Just on what Chris was saying about this QPR fan, and he was quite negative. I think it's partly copium, to be honest. I mean, if you asked Imran about if you were a Chelsea fan and your club had just signed Enzo Maresca, and you asked Imran to come on the channel and talk about Enzo Maresca, you'd think he's the worst manager in world football. But if you got Manny on instead to talk about Enzo, you'd think he was literally Pep Guardiola. So it depends on who you get on, right? Everyone's going to have different views on the manager. So the override, I've seen overriding positivity from both, taking it all into account. There are, of course, some red flags, and there's always going to be some negatives to Cifuentes. But overall, I think it's a much better appointment. I know Chris said this. It's a much better appointment than O'Neill or Chris Wilder, and it's something that I think fans can get behind, especially if he uses the youth. We looked at the data, the stats yesterday that showed that in the Swedish league, like 6 of the 10 youngest squads ever put out in the Swedish league were Marti Cifuentes' teams. We looked at the signings that QPR made in those 3 years. The majority of them were under the age of 25. There was only one over the age of 30. So these are all positive signs. Until he gives us something to disbelieve or to moan about, then I think we just got to be positive. If he comes in and like Chris said, he takes off his mask and it's Rude 2.0, then of course we'll have a good moan about it. But for now, it's positive. It's positive.
I'm with you, brother. I'm feeling positive for now as well. Klebo,
I know this man's excited. Klebo's excited. I know he's excited. I know he likes this.
You can tell by looking at him, can't you? Look how excited he looks. He's
excited. Klebo, do you think we're being overly harsh to some of these older players? Other than, where's this comment here? I'm just going to bring this up. It's fairly obvious in these strikers on the way as Daka couldn't score on a brothel. Mate, Daka is the most stupid fucking retarded donkey that we've ever had come to this club and put on a Leicester shirt. He should. I don't even want to look at him again. Okay, Klebo.
Don't sit on that fence, Luke. Don't sit on the fence.
You know how I feel about him, Chris. Ever since that Leeds game, I've proper turned on him. Even before that, to be honest with you, he sold us a dream like Tete of that one game against some fucking Farmers League team in Russia. I don't care. He's a donkey. Klebo, excluding Donkey Daka, do you think that we're being overly harsh on some of the players of the likes of Bobby Donkey Overreed and IU? Do you reckon, a lot of these players, Vestergaard, we're going to need them just purely because of how big the championship season is, the amount of matches? We're going to need somewhat depth if we can't bring people in. Do you think they're still going to serve a purpose?
I think some of them will. I mean, obviously, it depends on his remit. Is he being told you have to get promoted this season? Are we going to be taking any of the cups seriously? Because they will come into play. 46 games is a long season in any country, and particularly in the league because it's tough. You are going to get big ex-brickies steaming into you, week after week and bruising you up. So I do think the depth of the squad will play a big part in where we finish this season. I think Bobby Overreed, he's not. I think you can criticise these players a little bit more harshly as Premier League players, but in the Championship, maybe there's a place for them here and there. But I certainly don't want to see them as primary starters. One of the interesting things that Chris was saying there about the striker situation. So I picked up on the QPR fan said, it sort of pricked my ears up, was that his system works really well with a really good striker. Now, that's something we're lacking in. And I'm not really certain that IU would play a really important role in that system. What's your thoughts?
Is he saying they didn't have, because they had Lyndon Dykes, right, at QPR. So that was their striker. I mean, yeah,
I think what he was saying is that the system lends itself to having a very good centre forward, because I think their percentage. He was saying something like there were games where they were having over 70% possession and scoring one goal. So what he's saying is that you like to have scored 2, 3, 4 with a decent striker, which makes sense, doesn't it? We haven't got one.
Can you bring up that cheeky comment? Someone. From Luke, bring that one up from Banana.
Banana, well, we're talking about how cute you are.
Mate, I wouldn't mind like this. I wouldn't mind a comment like this, except it's coming from a dude called Banana. That kind of stuff scares me. I am, as a famous comedian once said in a movie, I ain't falling for no banana in a tailpipe.
Hey, at my age, I don't care. Any compliment will do me.
Oh, okay.
Chris, man, he's sitting in a tree.
Stroke his ego, give him a good pat in the back. He needs it. Chris, what do you reckon? Are you like, come on, man? Is it like, are you chucking out the bratwurst and the sausage roll and getting the paella out, or what? Like, is it all aboard the Spanish hype train, or you're a bit reserved on this appointment?
No, I mean, look, like you say, it depends who you listen to. The guy was very good the QPR fan. He put his points over well and precise and concise. But I just wasn't expecting some of it. I suppose because, look, I hadn't spoken to a QPR fan before this. I'd spoken to a Burnley fan. I'd spoken about Dyche. I'd spoken to, a Bournemouth fan. And I suppose I was expecting a little bit more from what I knew of him. Fuck off. You wanted O'Neill lock, so don't you go anywhere near that.
Russell Martin I wanted, which is probably worse.
He wanted Russell Martin and Wout Face to have the captain's armband.
He did. But no,
are you somehow related to, because your surname's Martin, are you somehow related to Russell Martin? Is he like your...
No.
Is he your long...
He's not.
You sure?
Yeah. I just wanted to do Tinder at the KP.
Judging, to be fair, judging by your face, you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, my hair's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's a bit Russell Martin, a bit scruffy.
I've not got his facial hair genes, though.
Yeah, mate, you've been trying to grow that moustache for about 6 months. It's embarrassing, that is. That little slug you've got on the top of your lip. What is that thing there? What is that? What's the bum fluff? Go on, look at show us the bum fluff on the bottom. Show that chin. My God, Darwin Núñez alert. Hello. You look like, for these older viewers, you look like D'Artagnan.
Who?
You need the bozo siren. You need a boomer button as well.
One for the older ones.
I've got more. Oh, mate. To be honest, Locks, if it makes you feel any better, brother, see this like pubic hair I've got my mouth and my chin. This is as good as it gets. I can't grow anything there. Can't grow anything here. It looks like I've got alopecia. So I'm right there with you. I'm 32 years old. I've got maybe 5 hairs on my chest, plenty on my balls and ass, but like nothing anywhere else. It's just like naked chest and back. Thank God for that, though. I can't grow a beard. But...
Have you invested in those, like, the new age, like people buy these Manscaped products? Have you seen the Manscaped range? They're always pushing it everywhere. You can buy this, look after your groin. Get these, you got like cream for your balls.
Ball deodorant.
So do you go
lift their balls up and deodorize it like a pig? Like fucking, that's weird, man. Like, lift your legs up like you're changing a baby's nappy. Can you imagine the look of that? That'd be right funky.
You don't mean
you got stinky balls confirmed.
Jesus. Come on, Manscaped. I'm not even being paid to do this yet. I'm telling you what, it's called Crop Preserver. Don't knock it till you try it, is all I'm saying. Don't knock it till you try it.
I thought I was coming on blue tinted glasses, not fucking loose women.
Hey, look, this is Late Night Leicester. This is Late Night Leicester. Look, we're trying to have a laugh now. I love the football stuff, yeah, but I'm trying to encourage this to be a different type of show. I was saying to Luke yesterday, we spend 5 days, 6 days a week doing God knows how many shows. Just a lot of it is regurgitation. So I'm going to do something random, like tell me your top 3 chocolate bars. Like what's the best chocolate bar that's ever been made? Does Luke shave down under?
Oh my God.
Okay, too much details there, Luke. Well, Keenan, you're gonna have to tune out, brother, because things are about to get weird. Do I in the winter? It's like I'm like a bear. I'm trying to fatten up and hibernate, so I need all the hair and warmth I can get. It's 3 degrees, and I told you, bro. Like I'm not doing my 3-piece set justice. I've got massive testicles, and right now an average size wang. So my 3-piece set looks like an avocado. Just that little nub with a big ball underneath. Anyways, Chris, do you what do you think of that ball deodorant, brother? Would you put some of that Manscaped ball deodorant on? Go out on a nice Friday night, Hey.
I'm the oldest guy here. I mean, for God's sake, when did men start doing that and spray? I mean, you've got this antiperspirant for down under now, haven't you? I mean, it's like, where's the natural smell of men? When I was growing up, men smelled like men, not like bloody pansies. All these days.
How did you naturally smell today in the heat, Chris?
Look, I refer you back to my nun's knickers joke. If you can imagine that. That's where it is. It's all natural. It's all natural.
I'm going to bring it.
The other option is, if I didn't smell like that, I'd smell like fucking Lynx Africa, and nobody wants that.
Hey, Lynx Africa.
Yeah, the unwanted Christmas present, Lynx Africa, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Manny, I'm going to bring it back just for 1 second, mate, because I've got a good question for you that I want to talk about Cifuentes before we move on to testicles and ball deodorant and everything else. Do you think that Cifuentes has the much more adaptable style for the players to seamlessly youth and otherwise and to slot into other than Danny Roll? You can't say that he's exactly the same as Enzo, but the ilk is somewhat similar. So do you think it's going to be easier for the players to integrate into his style because it's now on short notice? Thank you so much, the board. Compared to Danny Roll. The reason I say that is because when Enzo first came in, he had if you look at that second half of the youth, it wasn't the exact same as Enzo Ball, but you could see that there was a lot more gelling, there's a lot more harmony, they slotted in together. What are you laughing at, brother? You put me off.
No, just the comments. Just carry on. Just the comments.
No, you're right. In my opinion, when Enzo first came, he wanted the same system right way down to the youth, so that when they started to hit their straps, that they would effortlessly integrate into the senior team. And I think that's why, that reason, I think a lot of the players are going to adapt to Cifuentes a lot easier than they would under Danny Roll. Now, the question remains to be seen is how can he go with the step up in quality of players? Not to sound big-headed, but the reason I'm quite impressed is because he's taken a massive wage cut and paying back some of his compensation, I believe, because he wants to be here. We don't want to be begging anyone anymore. But you remember, I'm not saying that we have the same level of difference of quality, but like say, just for an example, Graham Potter, maybe too soon, went to Chelsea, had much better players at his disposal, and bottled it. Well, Chris, I can't look right now. What do you think? Help me! I am being held against my will by the loose women team.
The loose men team. The loose men team.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. Hey, look, girls get their own show in the mornings every day. Where's the man? Where's the man show? We don't do it in the morning. What, a late night man show? You get things off your chest. Sorry, the question, Luke. Where is it going to be?
More adaptable.
Is it easy to adapt? Well, look, it's not that dissimilar. There's a little difference. I asked a mate again. Mate used to work for FIFA, actually, who knows a bit about Cifuentes because he supports Aalborg, the Danish team that Cifuentes managed. And he said, what did he say? He said, I think he basically said he's not been exposed to top level theory like Maresca with Pep, which means he's probably not as hardcore wedded to it as Enzo was, right? So you're expecting to see a little tweak, and the fact that he has managed in multiple Scandinavian countries, they play a different kind of football in Scandinavia. So he's experienced, once the classic Barcelona style. He's been educated partly at Ajax youth. He's done the rounds in Scandinavia and he's ended up in England too. So he's had a good wide variety of different playing styles, playing techniques, all of that stuff. So I would like to think. I said yesterday, and I'm probably going to use this analogy quite a lot. I'm hoping he's the next Luis Enrique in that he has the foundations from Barcelona, but he's able to move on from that should he feel that it's A, appropriate, and B, he has the team to do so.
100%. Locks, what do you say to that before I come to you, Clip? Over? Good question.
Yeah, I mean, from everything I've read, he is adaptable. He's not completely set in his ways. Of course, anybody from this, who's studied at the Johan Cruyff, whatever it is, university school, I don't know what it's called.
Institute.
There we go. Of course, they have their vision and their philosophy that they want to stick to as much as possible. But he's not daft. He knows that he's not always going to have the superior squad, and when that is the case, he does change it up. So that's a good thing, and that does meet the needs of the Gerrit forwards, Leicester fan TV brigade, who don't want to see tippy-tappy football because it leads to too many goals conceded, and they don't want to, when they need a goal, they want it to go long. I'm not saying he's going to go long, but he will switch it up. He might be slightly more direct at times, and that will please them types of fans. And it's just genuine concern. Like, I understand the frustration. If you 1-0 down in the 90th minute, you do want more urgency. You do want some more directness. I understand that. I'm not mocking that. I think that's fair to ask. But yeah, I think he's, in the large part, he probably will stick to his philosophy, but he will be adaptable when needed. Yeah.
Sound? Just to bring it around, Clibbo, why don't you show us your drink of choice? Random questions. What's your go-to beverage, alcohol or otherwise? Favorite chocolate bar and favorite non-Leicester player growing up? I don't know about all of them, but what are you drinking tonight, brother? I've seen you drinking before.
I'm having a Budweiser. Only one. because I'll end up with a headache. So it's just nice and chilling. I like a bud in the summer. That's about it. I'm not heavy on the
Weather.
I can't
Yeah.
do one beer and just quit. I get a headache if I have one and stop. I'm thinking I'm a bit older now. I get like an early hangover. It's all or nothing for me. I'm a Guinness man. I love my stout. Otherwise, I love a good German beer. But although I won't be drinking them now because I'm all aboard the Spanish hype train. Chris, you're a cider man, aren't you?
I am indeed. I've actually got a copy now because I've drunk that much today. And I'm of an age where if I drink too much, I don't get a hangover, but I'm just up all fucking night going to the loo. I don't sleep at night. I just doze between piss.
I'm laughing because I know what you're saying.
I had my second coffee because it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when I got up to do this, right? And I had a heap of chili last night. I am playing with dice. So, Locks, if I duck
my
off, you're going to have to take
God,
over.
no,
I've got a
you're-
shitty man in my guts.
Your arse is bad enough without the chilies, mate. That's going to make it a lot worse.
You're seriously going to eat this chili live, aren't you, on stream? For those of you who don't know, Luke and Locks have got a bet that whether Ricardo stays for the first game of the season. Stupidly, Luke accepted first game of the season, not the end of the transfer window, because if Ricardo did go, it'd probably be a very late move to somewhere who needs him for a short-term emergency. So basically, we're going to get to piss ourselves at Luke getting... Is this... Tell me a bit more about this chili. Is this some serious high-level hot chili?
A Carolina Reaper chili.
One of the hottest in the
That doesn't
world.
sound good.
In the world.
YouTube it, man. Watch people's reactions.
Oh
when
no,
they're
it's going to
eating.
be live, mate. We're doing it live. We're going to stream. We can't. This is content, and this is going to be my segue. This is the Football Content Awards are coming up soon, and thank you, Clibo, for helping me link that in. And
This is what the band wants, isn't it?
we're trying to nominate BTG for the best newcomer channel, and we need you guys' help in the chit chat to hopefully nominate us. Like, we're hoping that we might even have a sniff of maybe even getting in the top 3, getting nominated, getting an award. It'd be brilliant for the channel. Unfortunately, that means that you might be stuck with us for a lot longer if we start growing and growing and growing. Locks, what's the details?
The link is in the description. We've already done a big shout out, so thank you to those that have nominated. But of course, the Football Content Awards nominations are open. So if you do enjoy BTG, if you do enjoy the content, if you do enjoy watching, then the link is in the description to fill in the form, and you can nominate us for best new content creator. There are a few different categories on there as well, but we're homing in on best new content creators. I mean, the channel's less than a year old. So yeah, make sure to link the YouTube channel on there when you're filling in the form. That'd be very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. There we go.
I asked Locks, do you think, all right, before he answers, do you think Locks owns a suit, yes or no? I was surprised by the answer. Okay,
Yes.
There's one for yes. That's 2 for yes.
I think he owns
Chris?
trucks.
You think so?
I mean, you could call, I don't know. No, I'm going to go no, just to be different.
Bingo, no. The man's going to have to get himself a brand new suit. Well, after black tie. Look at that. He'll probably go to Moss Brothers and rent one for the weekend. Tight ass. That's what he's like.
I don't own a suit. No, I don't own a suit.
Have you ever owned a suit?
Yeah, I've been to a wedding before that I had to wear a suit.
I've been a wedding before where I had to wear a suit. That's not fucking. That's not.
Mate, you don't laugh. The only time you will is when you're in magistrate's court.
Hey, I had a sexy suit, custom tailored for my wedding. I've still got it in here. I wore some of it for the awards show. It's proper sexy. It's got writing on the inside, bro. I felt like a right I love wearing a suit, man. I love getting dappered up. It's fucking brilliant.
I love it too. Brilliant wearing a suit.
Every time I wear a suit, I think 2 times, and both times either the shirt or the trousers have ripped. So there you go. That tells you all you need to know. That's why I don't like wearing a suit. Everything's so stuffy and it's not enjoyable wearing a suit. So
I didn't even wear a suit when I got married.
What did you wear when you got married, Clibo?
I wore it was almost like a suit, 1970s Starsky and Hutch leather.
Yes.
Young player over there.
With a tie and cowboy boots. Well, biker boots.
I bet you used to ride motorbikes, didn't you, Clibo?
Do you know what? All my family were bikers, but my dad would never let me have one because they all had bad accidents, so he would never let me have one. So the answer to that's no.
Ah,
Ooh, okay.
So that kind of typecast, really. People assume that because I wear all that kind of gear, I suppose. I'm a pretend biker.
Mate, with a head of hair like that, like I hope that like I have hair like that when I'm a bit older, bro, because I have like a weird shaped skull. Like my skull's kind of like a stegosaurus. If I go bald, it's fucking Trump toupee time. There's no way that I have the skull to be going bald. I thought I was going to put a little bit out the back, but I had a nervous breakdown. I was looking at flights to Turkey and everything. So awesome, mate. Chris, what are you laughing at, brother?
all right.
The turkey thing.
Right. There's a question for you. Outside of England, which national teams do you support? Kind of like watching anything
National
random?
teams.
Well, it could be like not England. All right, it could be a club team or it could be a national team. Like everyone has a soft spot for Brazil, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you who I hate. I hate fucking Scotland. I hope they always crash and burn. I'm not keen on the French. I hate the Germans.
Here we go.
There we go. Now it's getting to the nitty gritty. Frog eating bastard, fucking French. Go on.
Exactly. Why should they're bloody sending all their people over to us? No, I hate the French. I hate the Germans. They bombed our chippy during the war. You know what I mean? It's just, give me the Dutch. I like the Dutch, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely the Dutch for me. For those who don't know, my other half is Dutch, and so the kids obviously are half Holland fans.
And I like her as well, Manny. But we'll
careful you. But they love our football over there. Like whenever I go to Holland quite a lot, and I have chats with like wives' friends, husbands, and boyfriends and stuff, and they're all football crazy like us, like absolutely nuts. They love Premier League. Did you know in Holland they get BBC One and BBC Two as like standard on their terrestrial TV? So almost every football fan I know is religious about watching Match of the Day in Holland. There's a lady I know there who's been watching Match of the Day for like 40, 50 years or something, like never misses it. Every Saturday it's on for donkeys. So the Dutch is quite similar to England. They speak good English, they're good people, they love their footy. Always been some cracking Dutch players, not just in the Premier League, but in world football. Have we ever had a Dutch player? Chris, who are the Dutch players that played for Leicester? We had one in the 70s or 80s?
Patrick Van Aanholt.
Good shout. Yeah, good shout.
Yes.
That's good.
There you go.
There you go.
I'd do well as the United Nations ambassador, I tell you. I'd sort them out.
Steady.
Just quickly bring this back to football, Clibbo. Do you hope that Andy King stays over just to help out because of some kind of form of continuity, some familiarity with all the players' youth and experience, and then therefore he could get some further experience? So should anything go wrong, we can promote within and he can take over when maybe he's had more experience, depending on how Cifuentes does. Are you in favour and hoping that Andy King is still part of the staff?
I think that's been the plan all along, and I think anybody that was interviewed would have had that pointed out to them, to be honest with you. And I think something that Manny alluded to a while back on the channel, that would, having like a conveyor belt system, maybe we just finally cracked on and caught up a little bit. But I do think, and I mean, yes, it is too soon for him right now, but you know what? He's showing very, very good signs, very, very good media friendly, talks well, gets his point across. We're seeing little clips in training where he's getting his point across to the players. The players, even though he's only 36, I think, they seem to respect him, although they're 20 years younger than him, some of them. They seem to respect him. They seem to understand his very clear instructions. And I think they're all on board. And I think the players would be sad to see him demoted or kicked out, or not kicked out of the club, but to leave the club. The pastures new. But I wouldn't be surprised if the case wasn't that. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lower league club, maybe keeping their eye on him to come and offer him a job. To be fair,
be interesting to see if he takes it. I agree with you about what you just said as well about his sticking point and probably a prerequisite in a lot of these interviews that we've had of these potential candidates. I think that, in my opinion, that might have been an issue for Danny Roll. From all accounts, he's a bit of a knob. and he's quite arrogant and probably wants all his things his way or nothing else. So that might have been part of a reason why that might have been a bit of a sore spot. I don't think Leicester City would miss out on a managerial appointment just because of Andy King, but I definitely think it might have been a sticking point. But because of radio silence, we're left here to make conspiracies up on our head, and me and Locks have been going crazy the last few weeks at the fear of dinosaur managers being appointed. Hopefully the SIF wins this is done soon.
I'm looking
Well, I think it's interesting. Sorry, Locks. I think it's interesting and a really good thing that they've offered him a 2-year contract. Now, conspiracy theories or whatever you want to call it, in 2 years' time, Andy King will be sort of heading towards the 40 mark. Maybe he'll be ready in 2 years. And, you know, if it's a successful 2 years, we've got an offer of a third, which I think obviously then the guy's wages will increase. That gives us an option to say yay or nay with a ready-made replacement.
Does this remind you of when Claudio came in? We had Craig Shakespeare as that continuity. You know, yes, Claudio brought his own number 2 in, but he had Craig Shakespeare there to tell him about the players, because he's coming in blind, as all new managers do with these players. And he had Craig Shakespeare to say, no, don't do that. It's not his best position, blah, blah, blah. And you've got that with Andy King. And then in 2-3 years' time, for those of us that are old enough to remember the Liverpool boot room, you know, is that one manager left and the assistant manager took over. And they had pretty good success with it. So hopefully that is the plan, like Clibbo says. But I think having Andy King there to just tell him about the players, you know, if he's going to say, like, you know, I want to play Vestergaard as a striker or something, you know, I mean, I'm being stupid, of course, but, you know, Andy King's there to say, no, I wouldn't do that, mate. You know, he knows the players.
Spot on, mate. I agree. That's why I asked the question. Locks, this is one for you, brother. Question for all of you, but this is probably best for Locks to add. So Duck estimated from the books that we need to raise roughly 50 million for PSR. Let's assume it's true. Bilal says he wants to stay. Who can we realistically sell to raise 50 million?
Step one, don't listen to Duck's analysis of the books, because in March he was telling me every single day, oh, we're fine. PSR's fine this year. There's nothing to worry about. It's absolutely fine. We're in the green, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly one morning he just messaged and went, lads, we're fucked. So I was like, how do you go from one extreme to the other? Of course, we saw yesterday from the tweet from one of the journalists, I think it was Alex Crook, saying that, you know, Marti Cifuentes has reportedly been told he needs to sell before he can buy. Of course, we're going to need to sell to balance books. You'd expect Hermanson to be one of them. I think most of us are okay with that, with Jakob coming in as the new starter. If you listen to Reese, Clibber, I don't know if you agree with him, that Jakob is actually a better goalkeeper than Hermanson, according to Reese. I'm not sure on that one too much, but I'd expect...
Hold on, Clibber agrees with that too.
Do you think,
I do.
Jakob's better?
I see Chris nodding as well. I'm getting proper alarmed here. Go on, explain yourself, boys.
I think you're as good as your last game in every walk of life. I think the ceiling for him is higher, and I'll tell you why. He's much more commanding of his box. I saw the defence more confident when he was in goal. That tells you a whole lot. His experience levels are not as high. But I would say, I'm going to stick my neck out and say I think Jakob has a higher ceiling.
What?
I do. Watch the guy. Honestly, everyone keeps saying this about... I mean, don't get me wrong, I think he's a great goalkeeper. But on this show, not so long ago, you boys were talking about players coming back injured, never being the same again. I have to say, he's come back, not the same player.
I want to hear what Chris has to say, because I think with Hermanson, I mean, he needed surgery still, right? Which he had at the end of the season.
Same thing.
So,
you could label that a lot of players you've already mentioned on this show that were injured.
This isn't. I'm not. Sorry, Chris. You're gonna have to wait. Clipper, brother, I love your set of hair. And I do think that, for what it's worth, that Jakub Stolaček definitely is a very good shot stopper, okay? But I think it was unfair, the comparison between on the ball work. But like people forget, right? This is the modern age where it's not all about being a shot stopper. If you want to see a decent shot stopper, watch the game against Arsenal. People forget how good he was at keeping us in games under stupid fucking Cooper ball with Mads Henningsen making absolute worldy saves. Not only is he making worldy saves and nearly breaking records against one of the best clubs in the world in Arsenal, I hate saying that. He is amazing on the ball. People forget the first half of the season, the championship, some of the balls he was delivering pinpoint, like having another young Vestergaard on the ball as a centre-back because he was coming so far out. This is the modern day and age where people are now expecting keepers at the highest level to not only be a shot stopper, but to be able to deliver a through ball, be great on the ball. A ball-playing goalkeeper is now the modern, what we expect, prerequisite in a player. And in my opinion, Mads Hermansen fits that role. I do agree with you, and I think there is valid points that you're saying, Clibo, and saying that he doesn't command his box well enough. And from set pieces, yes, he does make me a bit nervous. I will agree with you. I'm not going to sit here and slag you off. Everyone has their own opinion. But I think that the ceiling is way higher for Mads Hermansen. I do think we can raise money with him, and I never think that Jakob will sell for any more than half of what Mads will. But I will say this, I really do like Jakob, and I'm more at peace with him being the number one. Chris, what's your response to, and what are your thoughts? Do you align yourself with Clibo? There's nothing wrong with that either, but like, football's all about opinions.
Chris,
it is. And look, you guys have said it all, really. The thing is, if we sold Mads Hermansen, and let's be honest with you, if we've got to sell, he's going to be one of the ones that's going to go. Would I be happy with Jakob to be the number one? And the simple answer is yes, more than happy. You know, whether he's better or not, look, it's down to opinions. One will say yes, one will say no. Is he as good as? Yeah. I mean, you could say he kept more clean sheets than Mads Hermansen, but, you know, who do we play at the end of the season? But yeah, I'd be happy with him as our number one. And I think we are going to need money. And whether we get away with PSR again, we're going to need money to buy players. And he's going to be the one that's going to bring the most money in.
I think I actually do think Jakob's a better shot stopper than Mads, to be honest. I do agree with that.
I don't think it's just about shot stopping. I think what you've got to look at, you're right, Chris, he has kept more clean sheets. And the confidence that I had when he came in, the defence you could see the defence felt more confident. I don't know whether it was subconsciously or not, but I just felt more confident that the defence were confident in their keeper when he was in goal. I mean, you only got to look when Wardy was in goal. You could see that the defence was shitting their pants as soon as they looked behind. You know, that's the difference.
I'm not saying go with Danny Ward. Love the Danny Ward.
Listen, we don't take 40 grand a week for sitting on our asses, won't we? So I don't slag him off for that. But I have to say that, well, I saw him in a competition. Was it the Euros where he played for Wales? And he was outstanding. So there is some talent there, but whatever happened to it, Christ knows. Christ knows.
Let me ask you a question, Clibo. Do you think when we brought Mads Hermansen back in after the injury, like we said, you know, they come back too soon, some players. Was it too soon? You know, Jakob had been in. Should we have stuck for Jakob for another game or two? And did Mads come back too soon and that affected his game?
Well, I mean, sometimes you have to protect players, and because players will play with half a foot, some of them. And he's probably said to the manager, "I'm fine, mate." You know, with that pretend limp, trying to stop limping. But at the end of the day, as a professional footballer, if you're not right, you've got to admit to yourself. Now, maybe he was shitting himself thinking, I won't get back in. I don't know. But at the end of the day, he was not the same keeper when he came back. Regardless of what the reasons were, he wasn't the same keeper. And I was disappointed that they dropped Jakob because Jakob did nothing wrong. I think with a goalkeeper, it's a difficult position because if you're a number two, you spend half your life scratching around trying to get into a position where you can actually challenge for that number one slot. And it was taken away. And a bit like, what's his name? Kelechi, when he scored all those goals that season, the next season, Rodgers dropped him. What does that do to a player? That can make or break a player's career. And in that instance, I think it actually broke Kelechi's career. So you have to be very, very careful.
I've got to say, I think it's all been downhill since Zelko Kalic, personally, but there we go.
Manny. Are these rumours true that you're a Danny Ward fan, mate? Are these rumours true?
Nah, it's late night. People want to give me some shit. Poke me. Come on, bring it. Is that the best you got? Come on, think of something more ridiculous than that. This is weak. Like, I don't mind. Like, Luke's, to be fair, like, Luke's quite good at, at dishing it out, but he can get a bit wimpish when it gets to certain people. He cowers in my presence.
What? Who am I carrying with?
It's like when I told you off the other day, I saw you count like a little naughty schoolboy. If you're going to come for me, Luke, bring the heat. Don't bring this wimpy light knocking me. Was it you or was it him?
Wasn't fucking me, and I wasn't carrying it wimping. I just realised I said something fucked up. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's it. Better. I'm trying to fire you up now. I thought it was you that was coming for me. I apologise. It's him, isn't it?
I can see a boxing glove coming from left to right here.
I'll tell you what.
I'm just reading the book, Clibbo. I think let the rest of them get out the fight.
Since about boxing, do you guys know that Luke does a lot of boxing? Can we? Does your stuff ever? Does any of your fights ever get streamed anywhere, Luke?
No, they don't get streamed novices, but like I could have it like filmed, like hopefully if all things are being equal and go well by October, then yeah, if I do well. If I get my ass handed to me, I'll just pretend it never happened. No, I don't.
Oh, come on, we want to watch that. I definitely want to see him getting punched in the face. Definitely.
Well, no, Luke told me that there is footage of him knocking someone out, and he refuses to send it to me because he's scared I'm going to play it.
What? Say that again. What did you just say? I think I heard that differently.
There is a video of Luke knocking someone.
Oh.
It's a teammate, man. You can't do those things. There's
Luke,
a certain kind of
you should never share those kind of videos with people, dude. Right? That's for private viewing only.
No. It's not an illegal one. It's Locks, man. It's a gym one, brother. It's a gym one. I can't do that. It's a friend of mine. It's what happens.
We don't want to see Luke knocking one out. Thank you very much.
Oh my god!
Yeah, sponsored by Manscaped.
So you've got a fight coming up in when? You've got a fight in October, right? Is it October you've got a fight?
I'll be nominated for novice if I can. I just got to get a bunch of weight down first, bro. Like, unfortunately for people that don't know, like in kilos, I used to be 135 kilos. I used to be really, really fat.
It's
I
like
used to be
21 plus stone.
Yeah, I lost it in 3 months on keto, and then I had surgery for a hernia. Here's one for the Danny Roll fans. I had a sausage of intestine sticking out my belly button. So I had a hernia. I had to have that bastard pushed back in during COVID, then a mesh put in. Then I had to take 8 weeks off work, and then I went straight into boxing and continued to lose more weight. But yeah, so unfortunately now, like if I take my top off, I've got like a kangaroo pouch tummy. I've got a bit of loose skin, but I'm just appreciative and happy I lost the weight. But yeah, it's hard to get down beneath. I think the lowest I've been is 87, and I'm sitting at about 95 right now. So I'd have to get down to about 87 and then drop to about 85 because you've got to be. This isn't where you weigh in the day before the fight. It has to be on weight the fight day. So I'd have to go in on a Saturday, be 85, and then fight that night. And then if I win that, I'd have to fight again the next weekend. And if I win that, then you go to the final round, I believe, of the novice titles.
Cool. Can we not stream that live on the channel? Come on, lot. Let's stream it live.
Luke, can you still do a good truffle shuffle?
Truffle shuffle. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I didn't wanted to make that about myself, but yeah, thank you. It's very nice of you to bring that up, Manny. Fair play. Yeah, that was. I think I can put up a photo on another cover, yeah.
You and Jack have done something amazing. Honestly, that is. Imagine how hard that must be. The effort, the discipline. Both of you look so much better for it because I've seen some of the old photos. And fair play, mate. To do all that, keep it off, keep exercising, do all that good stuff. I mean, I could probably. Thankfully, the camera stops here because my belly, particularly. Doing the number of these streams, I'm just eating more and more chocolate, drinking more and more carbonated drinks. I need to take a leaf out of your book, so I'm only jesting with you. I'm well impressed, brother. Well done.
Thank you, brother. That means a lot.
Here we go. Quickly, there's a good one. Look, Cameron says Luke managed to get rid of the dead weight. Now it's your turn, Leicester. Yeah, there you go.
Locks, do you want to just quickly share that video before we go, just so people can see the absolute enormous that was? I've just sent it to you on WhatsApp. I don't know
Oh,
if
you
you
want
can
me
share
to
that on screen or not.
do this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
here you go,
What
boys.
is it?
This is this.
All I've got is a black screen at the moment. What is it?
Is it?
Let's have a look. Yeah, no, it's all right.
You're
I've
right
got
though,
it.
Manny. Like you say,
I've
it's
got
a
it.
good job that the camera only goes so far down.
All right.
I can't
Here we
look.
go.
I
This
literally
is-
can't lose the weight, and
Do you go for like walks every day or something like that? Do you have a regular thing?
That's exercise, mate. I don't do exercise.
I thought you'd at least like go down the pub by walking, or do you get an Uber down to the pub too?
Well, yeah, but it's only about a minute's walk away.
Fair enough.
I've got a walking machine in my lounge. It's the most expensive clothes dryer I've ever owned.
Yeah, I got one of those. I got one of those Pelotons. You know those Peloton, those bike
Yeah.
things. Got
Yeah,
one of
yeah, this
those.
is one of them.
Used it for about a month.
Yeah.
Then I got annoyed with the person shouting at me, telling me to try harder, and I was like, "Shut up! I'm paying this idiot to tell me what to do. That's it. This system's gone."
Right. For anybody who, I mean, me and Manny have seen this, but for anybody wondering how much weight Luke did lose, just take a look at this. Take a look at this.
Big juicy. Not bad for a British beer.
You sent that to me earlier, Luke, and I thought, what the fuck is this? I thought, I looked at it and I thought, Luke's put a bit of weight on. I haven't seen you for a while. I had no idea why you sent it me. Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the love, guys. I'm fucking proper motivated now.
All right, can I just ask
You
you
look like
what,
you look like you ate Jordan Ayew in that one, mate.
what was
Here
your
comes the haircut, Red. Here it comes.
No, that wasn't that hair. I was asking, like, because I love, like, I've got a weakness for bad food. I love bad food. I love kebabs, love burgers, just love bacon sarnie. There's just pretty much, if it's bad for you, I'm pretty much going to like it. So what is your go-to, you know, when you're having, how did you get that big? What are you eating that would get you that big? Just volume or bad stuff? Metabolism?
Everything and anything. Bad fucking closet eating, bro. Like eating things before you go out and hang out with people because you'd be paranoid that you would, like, you know, look like a pig. So you'd eat before you go out. But just fucking heaps of Maccas, man. Just fucking double
Mackie
quarter
D's.
pounders.
Oh, what's your standard Mackie D's order?
Okay. I'm glad for screens now, because if I do go to Macca's now and I can have my autistic order and I don't have to look the people in the eye, minus this, add that, I can just do it by the screen. But what I used to be, this would be the order, be like, can I please get a large double quarter pounder meal with a minus pickle and onion, just the meat and cheese? And can I also get a chicken and cheese? And I would eat the chicken and cheese while driving and smash the food on the way home. That was the go-to order.
Let's go around. Clibbo, do you go McDonald's, mate? What would you have?
Not very often, but if my standard order is 20 chicken nuggets and a quarter pounder meal.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
That is,
saucy.
yeah, that's some serious going. That's nice. Chris, what about you, mate?
I'm just on Deliveroo at the moment, just ordering the Macca's. For me, it's a Big Mac, large fries, large fizzy drink, and a side order of a cheeseburger.
No,
choice.
I know Manny loves a milkshake.
Mate, banana milkshake, mate.
Yes.
Love
yeah.
the milk. I think the milkshakes at Mackie D's are underrated, as are the fries. The burgers hit and miss, but fries are always rock solid. The hash browns in the morning are rock solid. Milkshakes are good apart from the milkshake machines bust half the time.
Well, that's
always,
the problem, isn't it?
Always down. Those things
Right, let
are.
me ask you this then. Anybody prefer Burger King over McDonald's?
Oh
No.
yes, absolutely.
What? Yeah.
And I've got a very good reason why. I like salad in a burger. I insist. I want salad, and they all
Does
put.
that make you feel
some-
better?
Hang on a minute. Do we eat the tomato in the burger?
Yeah.
Do we eat the tomato?
I love tomato in a
pig.
burger, mate. And onion, like I'm going through an onion phase. I love onions at the moment. So
Onion.
I want crispy onion
Raw.
in my
I like
burger.
it raw.
Yeah,
I
raw.
like it
Yeah,
raw
me too.
onion.
I like it a bit raw onion. Yeah, nice.
Does it make you feel
Manny
better,
loves
man?
the raw.
You sat there with this big fat burger, but you're thinking, hey, I've got 2 of me 5 a day in there as well.
Well, it does make me feel better until, you know, obviously the inevitable diabetes and death. But I'm guessing, hopefully by then,
my God.
my gamble is going to be that AI is going to solve all of these problems by the time it comes round. So ChatGPT's out there working on the solutions as we speak. I reckon they're going to fix a lot of that stuff in the next 5-10 years. So I'm
what I
gambling.
do? You get told by the doctor that you got diabetes too, and they put you on tablets, and then you can just carry on eating the shit that you were eating before.
It's support for
Sorted.
There's a bit of support in the chat for a chicken royale. What about one widely
Chicken
available
royale.
burger? One burger only. One burger. You can't have 2, 3 different types. You can't choose between chicken and beef. One burger and that's it. Pick one.
I want to try one of the new McDonald's arches.
I don't like chain. It's a quarter pounder all the way.
Quarter pounder. I like double quarter, but if I'm going H, oh, see, this is the thing. Burger King in Australia is called Hungry Jack, so we call it HJs here for slang. If I go to HJs, I do like the flank rib. I'd go an ultimate double whopper minus ketchup, pickle, and onion. Just give me the cheese and mayonnaise and the lettuce, and maybe I'll add angry onions to it for that crunchy, sexy texture. And now they've got a thing in Australia where they've got cheese sauce. I want cheese in fucking everything, bro. If I don't have to look this lady in the eye, I don't want to go for a drive and look like a freak fucking asking for a lasagna burger. But if I go into the screens where I don't have to look at them, I'll add like 5 slices of cheese to the burger. I want that bitch swimming in cheese and cheese sauce.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to say the people in Leicester, anybody who lives in Leicester, Fat Buns. If anybody knows Fat Buns. Oh, my God. Western Boulevard it's on, and it is a cracker of a place. The burgers in there. So
in my day, they used to.
There will be some people that comment that know.
We used to go at the end of a night out. We used to go to walk down to TJ's on Welford Road. Always get a little burger there and stuff. TJ's blue cheeseburger, chicken burger's good. Yeah, it's good. That was a stalwart. I think they're still going as well. There's a chain of them. TJ's one on the high street.
A Wagyu burger as well.
Fancy, very nice, very nice.
I've got a friend who's just tuned in purely because I'm on it, right? And she's got this real aversion. She's frightened of tomato ketchup. And I used to have a chicken royale without the mayo and just drown it in tomato ketchup. So that's for you, Mia. You're watching.
What about egg? I think there's something underrated. There needs to be more fried eggs in burgers. You need to put a fried egg in a burger whenever you can, but you can't get fried eggs in burgers. They're going to charge you you have to pay £2 extra for a fried egg as an addition. I'm not paying £2 for a fried egg. You're insane. It should be standard as part of the burger. Come on, that's a winner. Because when the yolk.
Do you remember Wimpy's near the Clock Tower? They used to do the best fried egg. It was perfectly done, and it was perfectly round. And
used to do ice cream floats when you put vanilla milkshake in your Coca-Cola.
That's fucking disgusting. You're
lovely,
gone,
mate.
Man.
Delicious.
Delicious.
What about
chips in the milkshake? Dip your chips in the milkshake.
I can't.
No.
Dip chips in a milkshake.
What about? I bet lots. I bet you are a pineapple on pizza man, aren't you?
No.
Flippo, you're looking sheepish down there, brother. Are you a Hawaiian guy?
No.
Hey?
No, the idea of pineapple on a pizza makes me want to flick my testicles, mate.
I'm going to do that. I've got some new neighbours that have just moved in. Got some new neighbours that have just moved in, and they are actually Italian, and they invited me around for a meal the other night, and we were talking about pizzas and pastas and all that. And she actually said that if you went into a genuine Italian restaurant in Italy and asked for a pizza with a pineapple on, they would throw you out.
Yeah, well, rightly so.
Yes. Oh, I agree. I don't want it. It's too healthy.
You should be beaten with a shitty stick while you get thrown out as well.
Does anybody here like tuna? Because I had a tuna pizza the other day.
Not a pizza. That's not
You're an animal.
Pizza.
It was very good.
You can't have tuna on a pizza.
Am I going to make this up? Because I was talking to about pizzas. Wasn't there a pizza at one point that had a fried egg in the middle of it? On top?
Yes.
Now that works. That works.
It does,
that does work. That works. Yeah.
I'm going to
get you put the fried egg in the centre of your pizza, stab the yolk, and then spread the yolk across the pizza. Mwah, bang on.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Do you know what I did once? Has anyone here man, sometimes from time to time I'll have an edible and I just become a bottomless pit and I just cannot stop eating. One time I got like a full garlic naan and I just poured a whole butter chicken over it with like a little bit of rice and just wrapped it up like a kebab and dipped it in the sauce and ate the whole thing. I had my back to everyone because I just looked like a pig. I just couldn't look anyone in the eyes when I had sauce and shit on my face. I just had to eat the whole thing and look like a fucking Yeah, I am getting flashbacks, bro. I'm about to gain all my weight back.
You know, I was going to say, Luke, you know what they say though? When people lose weight, you're always fat at heart. At heart, you're always fat. It doesn't matter what you lose. You've still always got that love for food. Always got that.
Did you just check that comment out there, Locks? My friend has just commented beans on a pizza.
Yeah,
I've seen people do chips on a pizza, but I can't remember beans on a pizza.
No, there was a bit of a thing at one point where you could. It was actually a new product that was brought out. I don't think it lasted very long. Read into that what you will.
KFC did a.
Not comment.
No, who did it? Was it KFC? No, somebody did. Maybe Pizza Hut or Domino's. They did a popcorn chicken pizza once.
KFC has the worst food come down, don't you reckon? Like every time I have KFC, I feel gross.
Greasy.
Like it scrambles my you do a greasy poo.
That like this? That's not like number one.
A gun in the toilet bowl.
Isn't KFC like number one takeaway in Oz?
No, I think it would be Mac. Because I tell you what, though, I can't wait for them to roll out Wendy's here so I can get a double baconator. That shit is sexy.
Wendy's has started coming up here. I've got one not too far from me, and they're not the same as the American ones. They do. I remember seeing they had the smallest burger that they had was a quarter pounder. Then they had a half pounder, a 3/4 pound burger, and the full pound burger. That's 4 quarter pounders with thick layers of cheese in between. Absolutely insane. A full pound burger.
I've done as a challenge when I was 15. So I never used to be big growing up. I used to be like skinny as a rake, but I was one of those guys that could just eat whatever I wanted. I had a double pounder when I was 15. I got to the last patty and tapped out. So I had eight patties, 8 slices of cheese, and I've never been the same since.
But do you find when you've had a McDonald's, like if you go out and order fish and chips, you're pretty much full at the end of it. After a McDonald's, I always feel like I could just eat more.
See, now this is why.
Yeah, you're right. It's like Chinese.
Is you buy a bit extra, and then later on, normally for me, a double cheeseburger is the emergency in case I'm hungry. Got to have a double cheeseburger on standby. Pop it in the air fryer, 3 minutes, reheat, 170 degrees. Comes out, maybe 4 minutes actually. Comes out like the bun a little bit toasted. I'm a big fan of a toasted bun in a burger. Underrated.
Yes,
taste.
it has to be toasted.
Toasted bun, yeah. I don't want it nice and toasted. Comes out pretty decent. Definitely give that one a go. So always order 2 emergency double cheesies in case you want a little snack later on.
Problem is, if I did that, I would eat my 2 emergency double cheeses straight after I'd have the main McDonald's. But I'd still, mind you, I might stuff to the end of it.
Get yourself an American Akita, mate. You can eat 20 cheeseburgers a day. You won't put any weight on. That's how I'm so healthy.
This new thing that I'm trying to reduce the amount of. This is going to.
Don't do it.
It's going to come out funny. It's going to come out funny.
Then worry about it.
You're not allowed to clip this. I'm trying to reduce the amount of meat that I eat. No, you're not clipping that.
What?
And
yeah,
wife's on at me. Look, you eat too much of it. It's health. It's like, there's that thing that red meat is really hard to digest, and I love red meat. I love steak. I love burgers. All that stuff. And she's like, in the end of the day, you're just gonna, if you keep doing it, apparently it's the wrong kind of fat that just builds up and stuff. And I mean, not that I'm
that's
kind
wrong.
of expert. Is that
Kind of fat? Yeah, which is
I don't know.
I lost a lot of my weight on keto, so I had a high fat, low carb diet, and it was amazing. Like my blood work was immaculate, but just because one diet's good for one person doesn't mean it's good for another. But there is definite blood work to reinforce that there is nothing wrong with a high fat, low carb diet if done properly, and if you supplement correctly to go alongside with it. There's nothing. You are right to say that people can, if you eat too much red meat too often, maybe some people can have issues with diverticulitis and stuff like that. But if you're doing one meal a day or you're eating at the right time, there is absolutely nothing wrong with red meat, and it's very good for your cholesterol to have. I wouldn't say just straight carnivore, but yeah. Anyways, I don't want to go waffling on about fucking food and health and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with red meat, man. You get that fucking beef in your son.
I find it interesting. I don't know everything about everything. I'm interested. I don't really know what you should. No one does, mate. ChatGPT does though.
It's the digestion of red meat. It can be stuck in your colon for 3 years. Particles of it.
Yes.
About what else goes with it. If you're eating it like poor cuts of it and stuff like that, and you're not really helping yourself in other ways, it can get stuck in your colon, which is
there's no fiber. You're right, Clibbo. Yeah.
You guys are making me
Anyways,
hungry. I swear, I'm making me hungry. I want to order something right now.
I agree.
All right, this has descended into madness, guys. I'm gonna probably wrap this up here. I've got to get going for work shortly. Thank you, Clibbo, for jumping on. It was good to have you. Chris, give everyone a shout out to where they can find you. Chris is like essentially my uncle. I did like an apprenticeship over at this great channel of his. I'm always very appreciative of him. Give a shout out to where everyone can find you, brother.
Thanks for that, Luke. At LTID TV, Leicester Till I Die TV, Sean to LTID TV on all the socials and YouTube. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Guys, do me a favor. If you're not already, please go ahead and subscribe to Chris's channel. Great content over there. Thank you for joining us. Locks, sorry for giving you a heart attack talking about ball deodorant and everything else. Why don't you plug your store as well, brother?
Oh, yeah. Blue tinted glasses. Yeah, Manny, stand up. If you've got pants on.
My problem is if I stand up, then the camera follows up as well. Like it follows you up, so I have to like lift it.
That's menacing. Do that again. Next time I piss you off, just stand up like that.
See that?
Yeah, bluetintedglasses.com, and of course the link to the
football awards. Football awards. That's what we're going to pump today. Please, please, please. I think some of you already said in the chat that you've done it. It would be good. Like, you know, I'm highly competitive, so if we're entered in some kind of competition, I want to win. I'm not here to make up the numbers. I want to win it. So we need your help.
Will you do the next? If you win, will the panel do it in drag? The next show in drag.
I think.
Hang on,
those days are behind me. Those days are behind me, Clevo.
Say yes. This is. I've got to see Luke in a frock, mate. That'd be my Friday night sorted.
Well, we don't want to know your personal sexual preferences here, Clibbo.
Luke's old dress will look like a giant poncho on him now.
You guys are making me nervous. You know what? And I'm not putting on anything like that. And one of the ramifications of being so big is I've got like, not only have I got excess skin, but I've got giant like pepperoni fucking cabanossi nipples. Like I look like a lactating pregnant woman. East west, like, and then if I tickle them, they go back to being sexy. So like I look like I got man boobs normally, but then if I tickle them, they go like hard. I'm like.
Can I just say, I stayed over with Luke for a couple of days when I visited Australia, and he's not lying.
Yes. Yeah, Chris stroked them for me. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up there. Blue tinted glasses. Like and subscribe to the best Leicester City content channel on the internet. Go to this link and give us the a nomination. Do what you got to do. Locks deserves it. He's putting in work out here. Very fast ascension, blue tinted glasses in the Leicester community page. But still, we support all Leicester City content other than one other person. I'm not going to mention any names here. Peace out. Take care. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff. And we'll catch you on the next one.